Hey guys, hello, hello. How are you all doing on this beautiful evening? Happy Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mental Health Month. As we all know, the month of May has been set aside for mental health awareness. And today I am excited to bring my guests on for tonight. We have a very, very special topic for all the mothers out there, and how fitting for Mother's Day coming up in 2 days. So we will like to just dive in and begin the show. We have so much to discuss today. The topic for today is motherhood and mental health, navigating the challenges. If you're just joining for the first time, my name is Dr. Quita Roberts. I am a licensed mental health counselor. I thank you all for joining. Please share this live. Please invite a friend to watch it. And if you will be watching later, I thank you for watching with us. So, did you know that many people, in fact, 1 out of 5 women in the United States experience a mental health condition just within the last year? So, many of them suffer from depression, anxiety. Those are the common ones that we may hear. We hear a lot about PTSD. Many mental health disorders such as depression, bipolar affect women more than men. And so, most serious health conditions that we talk about, such as heart attack and heart issues, that we know women also suffer from a lot more than men. But when it comes to mental health issues, women are in the majority. We do know that mental health issues are serious, but the good news is there is a kill. It can be treated, and so we like to talk about how we can encourage our mothers, our sisters, our daughters to get the necessary treatment so that they can live their best lives. So join us as we start the conversation. I will be bringing my guest on, Miss D, to help us with this topic. Hello there, Miss D.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, Facebook land, and everyone else who will be watching later on. I am absolutely excited to be here. Happy Mother's Day in advance to all who play a motherly role in the lives of children around the world. And thank you for having me on, sis.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you on. I know that we talked about doing a collaboration, and here we are. Just perfect timing.
Here we are.
And I want us to start with you just
Yes.
introducing yourself to the audience, what you do, the kind of work that you do, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, before we start, the people think I'm not too used to the technology. I want to share the live on my page so people are able to follow. Can you walk me through it?
Okay, so do you see the live at all?
Um,
I'm
Let me
okay.
go.
I am going to
Do
share
I
it with
go?
you.
Do I go to your page?
I'm going to tag you now, and
Okay.
you will be able to share the live.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
All right. While we do that, we can multitask. So
Yes, yes.
most people on Facebook, I'm not new to Facebook. My face is very familiar. I often do many I collaborate many people on many platforms, in particularly on issues of mental health. So I am not new to many viewers. In the past, I used to do it on my own platform, but I slowed down a little. So to reintroduce myself, I'm Miss D. You'll know me as Deconti Damina J, but I go by Miss D. I am a mother. I am a friend. I am a sister. I am a licensed mental health practitioner. I live and work in the state of Minnesota. And I am just happy to be here and to share my knowledge, to just make this space a safe place that we can have a conversation that women need and that's much wanted.
Yes, indeed. It is indeed. And I'm so excited, Dee, to have you because I am a fellow therapist myself, LCPC. So I am always excited to have fellow therapist, LCPC, collaborating with me. And as you stated, women as a whole in majority, we do not have that many of us uh, faces, brown and dark skin, and Liberians that are doing such a job. And so it's a blessing to have you. So, what do you like to do for fun? Give us a little. I know you said you're new. You're not new to Facebook. Um,
Fun. Okay. So there's a break a little bit in between. I don't know if it's from your end, sis.
Yeah. So yeah, just go ahead and talk. We will just fill in as we go. Did you miss some? So I was trying to
Okay.
say, tell us a little
All
bit
right.
about.
There was a little bit of
Okay. So we will just go ahead and just fill it in. I think it's the slowness of the internet. I may have too many people online right now in my house. That might be what it is.
okay.
Did you get me?
Okay. I did. I did. So for fun. Naturally, I'm a music lover, so all things music are me.
Hmm.
I also enjoy art, so painting is something I enjoy doing.
Awesome.
Lately, I have started to have a curiosity for baking. I can't bake to save my life, but I have a curiosity for it and try
Yeah.
to indulge and want to learn.
Awesome. Awesome.
So yes, those are the things I enjoy doing, and
Stuff.
I'm an avid reader and I love to read as well.
Yes. 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 So all fun things. Of course, baking is always fun. And especially if you have little kids and they like to come in there and help along some
Mhm.
things that they enjoy doing. So, I want us to kind of talk a little bit and it's really mostly towards women this Mother's Day weekend. I know that as women, we wear so many hats. There's so many roles that women uh, have to play. And when it comes to mental health, that is not something we put front and center. Let's say African women, right? Because I know majority of the audience, listening audience, happens to be African, or Liberian, or Caribbean, or women of color. So this is really all of it is going out there to you women out there, you fabulous queens who are killing it. You're doing an awesome job day to day, hitting those goals. It's graduation season, and I am just so excited to see so many sisters graduating and doing that thing, chasing that, excuse me, that bag. But I also want to talk to all of those queens about taking care of yourselves, especially when it comes to your mental health. So,
Mhm.
understanding what is
Mhm.
considered normal, right? When it comes to what we feel as women
Mhm.
in relation to our mental health. So, for example, when nervousness become a
Mhm.
phobia,
Yeah.
okay, oh, I will hear people say I get so nervous about everything.
Mhm.
I get nervous, but there is a difference between nervousness and phobia, right? And also I would like to say the
Mhm.
same thing about depression. When we hear people say oh, I
Mhm.
just felt a little down, I have so much going on, taking care of family,
Mhm.
taking care of everything else, but I've been feeling down for
Mhm.
over 6 months.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wait, what? For how long? And what
Mhm.
are you doing? What are you not doing?
Mhm.
So Miss D, I want you to kind of walk us down just what does this feeling sad, just feeling sad means? Let's go a little bit deeper into the difference between I just feel sad and really what depression is.
Yeah. So before I do that, I want to do something for us in this space, right? I want to be able to bring something to our awareness from a non-judgmental approach, right? That the topic or just issues of mental health, we came in this game late as African women, right? This was not something that we were taught about growing up, right? That we learn about how to know how to detect what do you call it, how to detect our symptoms, right? So when you not know it, right, not something you know and something you grew up, it's not something that's familiar to you. And so this is something that some of us are just now starting to learn because we have been what exposed to Western ways, Western learning, right? And so some other thing is something that we're just starting to know. And so with no judgment at all, sisters, it is okay. I'm proud of all of us that's starting to open up and starting to learn about it and starting to be curious and starting to do a little bit research here and there or ask, right, about it. And even tune in to shows like this to say, you know what? Today, let's put the Facebook drama dance small, let's go learn small something. So I am excited when we do things like this. And so to talk about mental health, to talk about mental health and mental health symptoms, right? When most of us, when we go to a doctor, sometimes almost every time you are given an assessment, right? For scanning for what? Depression, anxiety, and trauma. Most times, some don't even know that the thing that they can be asking for, right? Because there are three main forms that they gave you when you, all your doctor forms, when you're filling it out, right? Just regular doctor visits, right? Well, four things. One, they ask you about safety, right? So establishing safety at home. Do you feel safe where you live? Do you have enough to eat, right? Asking those kind of questions. Then it leads to, do you feel down most days, right? Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you don't have enough energy to get up? Do you feel like sometimes you have low interest in doing things that you used to enjoy doing? That form that you're filling out, it is more likely a PHQ-9 form, right? Which is an assessment, a standardized assessment that we as clinicians use in our field, right? To just make a preliminary assessment for depression. And
Mm-hmm.
what is depression, right? When we look at it from a perspective, depression is a diagnosis, right? That has to do with mood, right? So our mood and functioning is impaired, how we feel when we wake up, how we feel when we interact with others, how we feel about ourselves, our own self esteem, right? And sometimes depression, sometimes people think, oh, Jack, hey, you know, Jack, you're not getting enough willpower. You that's in there, Jack, put strength in yourself. Sometimes it's not about putting strength in yourself, right? Sometimes it's about understanding symptoms and when you can catch them early, right? To be able to address them, that you're able to navigate it. So those kind of things, right? Having that space to say, 2 days now, I haven't had no kind of appetite. My appetite just down. I'm not feeling like myself. That's a word, that's a phrase we use a lot in our colloquial, right? I'm feeling like myself, right? The old man can use it. Even our old man too. Our elderly. Let me stop to acknowledge that. Our elderly, we will have mothers, we will have aunties. When this phrase is used, the same thing that you heard me, the question that you heard me, the question that you heard me ask. When the last time you went out? When the last time, you did things that you enjoy? Start teasing to ask a little bit of question when enter say or the woman say, I'm feeling like myself, right? How your
Mm-hmm.
appetite been? So that you start teasing to also know is there's some underlying depression going on, right? And sometimes depression again, it's not that it's just the mood, but also inside our own brain, right? We're not getting enough of what we call our SSRIs, right? Our serotonin, give me that serotonin
The dopamine,
uptake, give me the rest. Yes,
dopamine.
the dopamine, right? We're not getting enough of that pleasure. yeah, the part of your brain that helps you feel that pleasure, that make you feel like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
I can feel motivated to get up and face my day, right? And so
Yeah.
it's not just willpower thing, but when we don't do it, right, we just assume that willpower.
Yeah. And Miss D is such a great segue into
I,
women, just kind of in general, some of the challenges that we go through, and we will speak more on to the other ones as far as the other mental issues, and I want us to just sit here for a little bit. And again, if you're just joining, thank you for joining. Please go ahead and share this live. And we're talking especially to the mothers today, the mothers, the mother figures. We're talking to any mentor, any woman, any sister, any daughter, any friend who
mm-hmm,
identify as a
hmm,
woman. This is for you. So when we start
yes,
experiencing these changes in our behaviors, in our mood, it interfere with work, it interfere with your friendships. And as women, we hear people say, "Oh, that girl is so moody. Oh, she's always on and off." And we would talk about other reasons why people can be on and off.
hmm,
But somebody can be struggling with depression, bipolar, and they're functioning, they're showing up to work, but something is off. And we can say, "Oh, something not right about that
yes,
girl," right?
yes,
Yeah, that Quita girl, something's not right. She just
yes,
changed all of a sudden. So whatever is happening, something is not right. So, and then it can be really difficult for you to tell, like the assessments that you just shared, right? How many
hmm,
people can sit and say, "Oh, by the way, I
hmm,
have mental issues," or "I have bipolar." You're not able to diagnose yourself. So it is important that we pay attention to
hmm,
these symptoms and then we seek help if we feel that is there. So some of the challenges that I really
hmm,
want to talk about pertaining to motherhood is postpartum depression, right? Uh, Postpartum depression,
yes,
and 1 in 7 moms and dads suffer from postpartum depression. And if you are listening to
hmm,
us right now and you are experiencing postpartum depression or you have experienced postpartum depression, I want you to know that you are not alone. Somebody may say, "What is postpartum
absolutely,
depression?" Right? So you just gave birth to a
yes,
child, and for that
hmm,
period of time, and
hmm,
it can even start before that. And I will share my story with postpartum depression. I excited about my
hmm,
pregnancy. We were having a baby. We were buying a new home. I was excited. We were painting out, picking out furnitures, clothes for the baby, everything. It was such a happy and joyous moment in my life, me and my husband. Um, and as a therapist, what was farthest from my mind is Quita suffering from postpartum depression. And so I noticed when it was time to give birth, I kind of felt a little sad, but it was like, I'll be okay. It's probably the mommy blues or what have you. I had my baby,
hmm,
and
hmm,
after I had my baby, it was like a few hours later, I started crying. And the nurse kept on asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I
hmm,
said, "Yeah, I'm fine." She said, "Is everything okay? Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, everything is fine." But I just felt like this baby was not my baby. I just felt so sad. I felt like, okay, I think, how can I, how can I get this baby to the point where the baby can be safe? Because in my mind now, I'm thinking all sorts of things. I'm not safe. I don't know. I don't want to be in this space.
okay,
I don't feel like this is
right,
right. This moment is
yeah,
right. I don't know how to explain it, but everything just
yeah,
fell off. And increasingly, I started
hmm,
crying and I started feeling very sad. And I told the nurse, I said,
hmm,
"Listen," I said, "can I stay in the hospital 2 more days?" I did not want to go home. We just purchased a home. My husband painted the house, the baby room, and everything. An exciting time for us. Yet, it's still that home did not feel like my home. I did not want to go home. I did not
Mhm.
want to be around nobody. I
Yeah.
felt I needed to be by myself. Where those emotions came from, I cannot tell you. However, I was discharged. And before I was
Mhm.
discharged, I told the nurse, I said, I think I might be struggling with postpartum depression. And she said, Oh, how would you know, honey?
Mhm.
And I smiled. I said, I think this is what it is, right? I said, but I'm going to speak to my doctor and we will go from there.
Mhm.
Showing up, went home a few days. After 2 weeks or so, one morning, I just had these thoughts standing up over the railings. I said, I should just grab this baby and throw him down here, and everything will be okay. My life will be great. I will go back to normal. Everything will be fine. But imagine how embarrassed I was feeling this. And I felt like I could not tell anybody.
Mhm.
Imagine in our Liberian culture,
Mhm.
I'm telling my mom, "Oh, mama, I feel like I won't hurt my baby," or I'm telling my husband, I feel like I want to hurt my baby. So there are so many
Mhm.
people like myself, and my experience may be different. Their experience may be different, but postpartum
Yes.
depression, 1 in 7 mothers experience postpartum depression. And I share my story because there might be somebody
Mhm.
out there who may have experienced it or who may be experiencing something
Mhm.
similar, and they may be embarrassed. This is a safe zone,
Yep.
and I want you to understand that you have healthcare
Mhm.
providers who are out and willing to hear you and to help you. And it's always a great idea to reach out and to seek help. So you don't have to climb in deeper
Yes.
darkness and suffer in silence. And so postpartum
Yes.
depression, um, what are your thoughts on it?
So, like you, I too have my own personal experience of it. I
Hmm.
happen to have had my twins during COVID. And
Ah.
so, not only am I dealing with postpartum, I'm dealing with COVID, and I'm stuck with
Mm.
these babies, and I'm stuck with school age children, right?
Yeah.
At home, and I am a working mom. So I'm like, oh, and you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that we overlook, right? Women, our bodies go through an extraordinary experience with
Mm.
preparing this life that's in us during this pregnancy
Right.
time, right? And part of what also happens is as we go through this, our body goes through an extraordinary change.
Hmm.
Part of that change sometimes, right, impacts your brain, your thinking pattern, right? How you feel about yourself, right? It impacts a lot. It impacts the relationship that you have, even with your significant other, right? That when
Right.
the baby is born, sometimes those irrational thoughts that come, right? That you feel like, and knowing you again, right? That you are a loving mother, that you would never think of thought that, oh, if I just threw this baby down, right, I will be
Right.
okay. But here it is, that thought is looming, right?
Mm.
And in a moment, it feels like it's an outlet, right?
Hmm.
But those are the kind of things that happens to your brain, where that imbalance in the brain, right? That happens. And then the disconnect from the relationship with your body, right?
Hmm.
That when if you changes that happen, and you can't, your body can't snap back to what it used to be, the self-esteem stuff that come, the sleep deprivation that
Like
comes,
sleep.
right,
Yeah.
at the
Hmm.
beginning of motherhood. So many changes that a woman goes through, depending on if she has support. Sometimes she can have support and still go through postpartum.
Hmm.
And low, what I can say, low beta. If you don't have support,
Right.
imagine how you will through it, right? If there's no
Absolutely.
one there to support you through it. So it's hard, right? And so if you can have places, and women who don't have support, tell your doctors, just like our sister did in a hospital, so that the nurses that comes in to do your first week visit can
Mhm.
provide you with referrals. And calling the back of your insurance card, women, to say, hey, I think I need to tell my primary care doctor that I need some support. I need some resources. It is
Yeah.
equally as important. The community that you build, asking your friends them, asking your cousins, your family, asking significant others to say, during these times of the day, I don't feel safe within myself to be able to be left alone with the child. I need
Mhm.
people here with me so that it's normalized, so that it's not looked at as you're a bad person or as you're a threat, right? But rather, these are the most crucial time a woman needs support so that she's
Right.
able to be able to just be, right? Just
Mhm.
be, and that someone else is able to pour into her for that moment, and
Mhm.
that this too shall pass. That she
Yeah.
gets what she needs as she recover. Because think about it, we go through 9 months of a body change. And what they give us that 6 weeks, they can get some people or 12 weeks to get back to work, right?
Yeah,
And
basically.
it's like your body haven't even healed completely.
Mhm.
Haven't even healed completely yet, right? But here we
Mhm.
are. Society says jump right back in. And so
Exactly.
giving grace where we
Exactly.
through
Giving
postpartum.
grace. Yes, indeed. Giving grace. Yes, indeed. And I think that is just like a motto for motherhood as a whole. Navigating postpartum that we described, and then of course dealing with the changes in not your just uh, biological circle, but then also your physical body. And we find that a lot of women
Mhm.
struggle after with just the way that they look. Of course, you're not going to bounce back right away unless you have, you know, the money from the stars or you're blessed with a really good genetic where you are just
Well, the
able to
genetic, right?
snap back in shape like that. And
Genetic.
some women have that, you know, but the majority of women, it takes a while for their bodies to get back into shape. And so that period of where uh, postpartum is there, but then also there is this low self esteem as to I don't look the way that I do. And women actually grieve
Mhm.
this. This is a lot of the issues where they are grieving this physical body, even
Yes.
sometimes, you know, like we
Yes.
say, what they look like. They've gained a few pounds, changes in their faces. You know, for me personally, when I get pregnant, my nose just go north, south, east, and west. It spreads, right? So I just get
Mhm.
a lot of that
Mhm.
swelling in my face and the butt, everything goes just its own way. So
Mhm.
looking at yourself
Mhm.
and giving
Mhm.
yourself grace, knowing that it's going to take a while and
Grace.
work and effort to get yourself back to where you used to be.
Yes.
And it takes lots of patience. Okay? It takes lots of
Yes.
patience to kind of get you through that process. And so when we say that giving yourself grace, understanding that 9 months it took for you to carry a baby, grow a human being, nurture that human being, 9 months. Your body was doing its thing to keep this child safe. So now taking care of you, which is why self care as women is so important. Super, super important. When we talk about that mental health, making sure that you are
Absolutely.
getting that mental break, um, parenting, raising kids, who does the kids run to? Is mommy. When something happened, mommy look, right? Most time it's the mom. Mom has to go and clean, cook. Mom has to attend the kids' game if they're in sports. You know, mom has to do laundry. Mom have all of these things. Now, who's taking care of mom? And all of these things
There
that
you
we
go.
do, who
Yeah,
is taking care of
absolutely.
you? That's where that grace has to come in, where you say, you know what?
Yes.
In order for me to be good for these people that I love so much, that I care for so much, I have to be good to
Mm-hmm.
me. And sometimes it means that you have to be a little selfish,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it may means that you
Yeah.
will shut the door for a few hours for yourself. And so, Miss D, I want you to talk to
Mm-hmm.
that woman, that sister, that mom who is struggling to balance, to find that happy medium, right? Where she's trying to balance all of the challenges of
Yes.
motherhood and just being a woman.
So if I'm looking down to you, sis, in the audience, it's me trying to share the show. It is
Yeah,
not me being distracted. Just want to give that out, okay?
yes, yeah.
I'm trying to, share from you. Okay. So let me be again transparent because this is what this space is about, right?
Hmm, hmm.
It took me a very, very long time, even as a helping professional, to learn to give myself grace, to
Yeah.
learn to give myself moments that I can stop and pour into myself to feel like I deserved, right?
Mm.
To
Hmm,
just stop and make things about me. It took a long time
hmm,
because what? We are domesticated, and then when you add our African culture, right? That
hmm.
that that pushes a collective first approach, right? That we take
Yeah.
care of others first before ourselves. When you add that you grow
Hmm,
up in our culture, it's hard. It's a hard thing to learn. And even me as a licensed professional, 10 years doing it, thing, I struggled for a long time to give myself grace, to be able to still say, I deserve
mm.
to make time for myself.
Mhm.
Even now, I'm not perfect. Even now, I have to give myself reminders, right? During my day, even if it means in my work calendar that I put something in there, go for a walk,
Mhm.
something, right? That I give myself reminders to say, stop and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Eating. Sometimes we go, go, go. We don't even stop to eat because we're
Mhm.
so used. I have a phrase that I use with my clients all the time as my reminder. I can ask them, are you a human doing or a human being? And they can laugh, right? Because that's what clicks and stop them. And they can say, oh, Miss D, not that way again. So that's the question I'm going to leave with us tonight, right? The
Yeah.
reminder, are you a human being or a human being? When you're a human doing, you're working for automation, right? The automatic habits that we have already learned, right? We're working off of the brain, the part of our brain that's the basal ganglia, right? In
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
that's also automatic. That thing we not
Yeah.
teach ourselves. Those patterns are just automatic.
Yeah.
But when we're being, when we're working and being human being, we're being
Mm.
mindful. We're staying in our now. We're learning
Yeah.
to connect with ourselves and listen to what our body needs. And so
Mhm.
encouraging us more to stop and be still and sometimes be able to spend time with your body, spend time with your feet, press your foot on the ground sometimes, just see how your feet feeling. Press your
Mhm.
foot, then you come up to your knees, squeeze it, come up to
Mhm.
your thighs, squeeze it, and spending time all the way up. And
Mhm.
that you
Mhm.
spend time in your body so that you can understand when your body is communicating to you, you need to
Mhm.
slow down, take care of yourself so that
Mhm.
it's not too late, so that you're able to catch the clues when it happens, so that you're able to know when and what your body needs. That's what I would say about it.
Excellent. Excellent. Listen to your body. I cannot emphasize that more than what you have already did. You did an excellent job expressing that, and just that body scan that you described, just paying attention to different points of your body. And the thing here is, many times we go like the Energizer Bunny. We go and go and go because, again, we have been groomed as women to keep going. We have been groomed from the very time we were little. Our mom then would tell us, oh, clean the kitchen, stay with me, help me to wash the dishes and do these things. But mommy, I tired. What do you mean you tired? You lazy. We didn't learn to take
Me
breaks.
too.
And the only breaks that you were allowed to take
Yeah.
is when you were sleeping, right? When you close your eyes and go to bed at night, then you will rest. And we see so many young women in their 20s, women in their 30s, they are dropping with heart issues, hypertension, stroke,
Yes.
very young.
Yes.
And it
Yeah.
just did not start off
Yes.
the day of
Yes.
inception. It started while years of
Mm-hmm.
not taking care of yourself. And so, my sisters, my
Mm-hmm.
queens, this Mother's Day
Yes.
weekend, I want us to make a commitment to take care of ourselves, to making sure that when mentally you are
Mm-hmm.
exhausted
Mm-hmm.
and you see that email come through or you see that phone call or that text, I want you to just look at it and say, I will respond to that tomorrow. Because sometimes you pick up that phone and you
Mm-hmm.
respond to that, there is something on there that is going to stress you out, ruin your entire evening or day or what have you. And we don't have, sometimes we're in
Mm-hmm.
the position where we're already tired. We don't have the capacity, we don't have the energy to deal,
Mm-hmm.
but we are forcing it
Mm-hmm.
because we've been nurtured. I mean, we have been
Mm-hmm.
trained and
Yes.
groomed. So keep going,
Yes.
keep going.
Mhm. Yes. And to add to that,
Mhm.
sis, all my
Yep.
sisters, my aunties, my mothers, all of us in this space, let us normalizing unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy patterns. Let's
Yeah.
normalize that thing. Let's normalize not normalizing it.
Yes.
And
Yep.
because when we normalize these things, right? Like you said, Oma was saying, from the time I was small up to now, you know how I used to go to the farm. When I come from the farm,
Hmm.
then I will beat the kids out. When I finish beating the kids out, then I wash their clothes. When I finish washing their clothes, then you're literally explaining exhaustion. And
Exactly.
you are literally explaining exhaustion,
Yeah.
walking yourself into your next panic or anxiety attack.
Hmm.
And let's normalize things, sis. When you told me from the morning, from saying you got up, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. Asking a question of when did you sit down to eat? When did you
Hmm.
sit down to drink? When did
Yes.
you stop to just breathe? When did
Yeah.
you, and just asking those kind of question
Mhm.
so that the person can catch themselves and
Exactly.
realize, oh, we're not, in 2025, we're not normalizing behaviors, right?
Yeah.
That we can catch ourselves in it.
Great. Excellent. Let's not normalize that because you're absolutely right. When it boils down to it, we have been told, and it's in the back of our mind, and your body keeps the score, it knows, and it brings it back to your memory. And so all your grandma, your auntie there, your cousin there, that's what they do. So, but that's what all of the women in my family, we strong women and we take pride in that. Yeah, my other auntie, she was so strong. She used to work until one day she dropped out. Yeah, she was strong.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we glorifying that? There is something
Mm-hmm.
called toxic
Mm-hmm.
resilience.
Mm-hmm.
And in the African culture,
Mm-hmm.
we really glorify that
Mm-hmm.
toxic resilience. If you know toxic, you know that it's something that is not good for
Mm-hmm.
you. And then
Mm-hmm.
you pair that by resilience, which is the ability to bounce back and keep going through
Mm-hmm.
adversities. But if my resilience
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
toxic, then it means
Mm-hmm.
that I'm bouncing back even when I'm supposed to pull back,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, what am I doing wrong here? And that's where we got to come in
Yes.
as
Yes.
women, as mothers.
Yes.
We are so gifted. Women
Yes.
my sisters, my daughters,
Yes.
my queens, my aunts. You
Yes.
know, there's so much we can give the word. There is so much we can give of ourselves. God has spoke so much in us so that others around us may be blessed. But how can we be a blessing
Mm-hmm.
to others when we don't take care of our
Mm-hmm.
vessel, our bodies,
Mm-hmm.
our mental?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I see people working overtime. Oh, you got making money overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? I've
Yeah.
been on a job my 4 days, 5 days. Yeah, I getting my
Mm-hmm.
money. And then your day off, all you do is to
There you
sleep.
go. And then just slap in the ass, sis.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop in the ass. When
I
you do
stopped
that
it.
overtime, when you get
Yeah,
home, when do you sleep? When
yeah,
do you take time to just relax?
yeah,
Yeah. So that we
yeah.
don't normalize these patterns. Because what we don't what we also should realize, right? The quality of your mental health
Mhm.
also is directly linked to the quality of your physical health because
That
things
is
start to
right.
break down, oh,
Hmm.
right? And going back to the correlation, the quality of your physical health is directly linked to what? The quality of your mental health. So you can't take care of one without the other. So we got to remember both of them need to be taken care of. If you pay attention to your physical health, you better pay attention to your mental health. When you pay attention to your mental health, better pay attention to your physical health because you need both. You need both. And there's something for those who are spiritual, and I don't in no way push my religious views on people, right? And even my clients that I work with, I don't push religious views on people, but those that come with their own spiritual views that align with mine and those that are open to hearing, and especially our people of color, generational curses, that 18 year talking about, not repeating patterns from past generations.
That's right.
That 18 year we do right now. That what it's talking about when they say breaking generational curses. That's what
Mhm.
it's talking about, right? When the Bible say
Yes.
that part of our inheritance, right? I believe that part of my responsibility is to be here for my children, right? Now, we don't
Right.
get to predict the life that we will live, right? When God will
Mhm.
call us home. But part of
Mhm.
my duty as a parent is that I take care of myself, the things that I can control, right? So that I'm
Mhm.
able to be around to guide
Yeah.
and nurture these young people, right? So that
Mhm.
when I go back and say, God, it's the talent you gave me, I wore it well.
That's
So
right.
breaking generational curses means that we undo some of the patterns. I wanted to bring that part forward.
Yes. I thank you for that. I love that. And you're absolutely right. We throw these words around and it's almost like cliche. And we see it around on social media. Everybody talk about breaking generational curses. And when we talk about that, we are really thinking about the trauma part of it, right? But I like the fact that you highlighted this, that in order for us to
Mhm.
break those generational curses, it starts with that health, wellness. It starts with how you view your body. First and foremost, how God views you. Even God rested on the seventh day. So from the
Yeah.
very beginning, He scripted
Oh, oh,
everything for us,
oh,
right? He
mm,
rested and it was very
mm,
specific.
mm.
So, queens, sisters, mothers, daughters,
He
we are
rested.
to rest.
Mhm.
You are, put that in your vocabulary
He
tonight.
rested.
If you will not take anything from this life, I want you to write on a piece of paper, rest, and let that be your reminder.
And after the 16-hour shift, she rested. After the 16-hour shift, she
She,
rested. Oh,
yes, he sure did. He did not say, "Oh, I will go back and I will take 4 hours." No, no, no. Yes,
she
and
rested.
he rested. And so,
I like this.
so ladies, I many times we as healthcare providers, I would tell my clients when I am speaking to them about rest and all of these type of things, I would tell them I'm preaching to the choir because, like we say, it's easier said than done. Everything we're saying sounds so easy, but it takes you being intentional and consistent in
Practice.
order to make
Practice.
it work. It will
Yes.
not work
Yes.
if you get off this life and you say, oh,
Yes.
yeah, the two girls, man, they had a good life tonight. And then you go right back to doing those 16-hour shifts and forget about the rest piece of it
Mhm.
because your body will remind you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you don't want your body to
Mhm.
remind you when you're laying in
Mhm.
the hospital.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And habits take a while to form, right? And
Hmm.
so the open challenge here then is because again, some of us, even who are working trained professionals, we still learning that thing, right?
Of
So I can
course.
expect someone who is novice or just learning this information to just take it and soak it in, right? But part of my challenge then tonight is if you're just hearing this information for the first time, right? And you're not in a place to do anything about it yet, right? Come back and re-listen to it, right?
Hmm.
Because maybe today you may not get everything that you need to get out of it. Come back again and listen to the thing one more time. And part of how I work, part of how I help other people heal is through humor. So you can see we're cracking joke here, we're laughing, right?
Of
So
course.
yes, we're getting the joke, but in the joke, there's also jewels in it, right? That we dropping.
Right.
But if you're just not
Yes.
in that space where the thing aren't connecting with you yet, it's okay, right? But I am hoping that at some point, right, you will reflect back on it and say, the two women, they had a point, oh, that thing they were talking. Let me go listen to it one more time.
Hmm.
So it is my wish, it is my
Yeah.
hope that even if you're not in a stage to be ready for it, that you still come back to it. But if you're ready for it, my challenge for y'all, who ready for the thing, right? We can start one
That's
day,
right.
where you practice the she rested. Now what new thing that a new challenge or she
That's
rested
right.
challenge,
Yes.
one day
Yep.
where you do it and you know what when you do it, in fact you tag me, your hashtag us, hashtag she rested,
She
so
rested.
that we
Yep. That's
understand
it.
and we make this
Yes.
normal,
Mhm.
right? Rest there so that we understand this becomes language then in the community, right? Where I want them. D12, where I want song, I don't know, what the other one, PCK, what the other, CIC, y'all
Uh-huh.
y'all carry it. She rested, he
She
rested,
rested.
y'all carry it
Hmm.
because we need to normalize mental health. We need to
That's right.
normalize changing patterns and habits. So y'all carry the one. Hashtag she rested, he rested.
I love it. I love it. I love it. In fact, that's our theme for the entire year. Hashtag she rested. And what a great time to start this, but this weekend, right? Mental health, or even this month, like you said, we're gonna take it one day at a time. If you are not there yet, that's okay. When it's time for you to get there, but let's take steps, baby steps, right? We say Rome was not built in one day. So let's take baby steps. So if tonight you went to bed 30
Yes.
minutes earlier than you will usually go, you rested. That's 30 minutes extra rest that your body is going to thank you for,
Yeah, and
right?
bluff about that thing. Bluff about it.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal, sisters, because so many of us are coming up
Yes.
with physical issues because in fact 95% of illnesses starts within the mind. And so let me speak to
Yes.
our people, our Liberian people. When you say, oh, the mental
Mm-hmm.
health thing, I ain't got time for it, man, and the whole thing about it, that thing not real. It's real. It is real. Go online, do your research. If you don't believe it, stop and pay attention to your body.
Yeah.
How many times have you experienced excessive worry? You can't just stop yourself. You worry and then you feel your heart palpitating, it's beating, you're shaking, you're so nervous.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Mm-hmm.
times that worry has
Mm-hmm.
interrupted your ability to sleep? You can't go to bed all night. You're
Mm-hmm.
thinking about this one thing. You tossing and turning in your bed. It's interrupting you, but you go to work.
Mm-hmm.
You can't focus on your work.
Mm-hmm.
You messing up on the people work and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, you are not rested. You are not focused. That's your mental. We all have mental health, all of us. So our She Rested
Yes.
challenge,
Every last one of us.
every last one of us, okay? And like I share with
Hashtag oh.
I, I share with my patients, I tell them, look, I am just one episode away from where you are sitting. So don't let nobody look at you with their nose up here. Today, you are not dealing with something, but you never know what's going to put you over the top, okay? That you may
Mm-hmm.
deal with a crisis. And that same person that you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at and calling
Mm-hmm.
crazy,
Yes.
somebody may be looking at you and saying the same thing. So we're all in this together. Let us check on one another as women.
Yes.
This is why it's so important to have
Yes.
this support system, this healthy sisterhood that we can bring together where, oh, I haven't heard from this person. I haven't heard from Miss D in such a while. She's not coming outside, she's not going to the places. I want to check on her to see, hey, I haven't seen
Mm-hmm.
you in a while. Is everything okay? So the other piece of that is we don't trust because I don't want my business out there.
Yes.
So Miss D will say, well, I'm not telling her I'm going through this issue because guess what? She will probably get
Yes.
off the phone and tell her friends.
There
So
you go.
I will say this. It is not your job, sisters, aunties, mothers, daughters. It is not your job to judge nobody. It's not your job to judge anybody who comes and tell
There you
you
go.
they are going through things. It's your job to listen and ask them, how can
Listen.
I help?
Yes.
Is there anything I can do to help you? If I can't help
Yes.
you, oh, I know of this group, right? The friendly counselor. Maybe she can point you
There you go.
somewhere, okay? Or
Yes.
maybe Miss D, she's a
Yes.
therapist in Minnesota. She can seek, help you to get
Always
help.
come in my inbox. Come in my inbox with
Yes.
questions. Yes.
So there's people out here, there is help
The
out
one I
here.
know, I will tell you, say I know, yeah. But if I able to help you find resource,
So building that support system around you, building those life skills. And if you are a woman who is feeling like, look, I'm in this period of my life where I don't feel good about myself because I don't feel like I have a lot to contribute. I don't have a job. I don't have a place to stay. I there are so many things not going for me in my life that's causing me to not feel good. Maybe you can find some type of support, building skills, joining groups, things like that can help you better off your life. You don't have to sit and pity yourself, right? So Miss D, let's talk about treatment.
yeah,
Does treatment work?
yeah.
Does
The
treatment
connection went off. I didn't get the question.
does treatment work
I didn't get the question.
when it comes to mental health treatment? Those that will be seeking help with depression, anxiety, bipolar. In your opinion, does treatment works?
Oh, Well, treatment looks different and progress looks different for everyone, right? The stages that we come in to seek help looks different, right? What might look like small little progress to you might be a milestone for another person, right? So for me, I don't measure progress based on another person, but if we look at it from a quantitative perspective, right? Overall, yes, mental health and treatment does work, right? Because the people who come and get services over time do report back, right? That there's a decrease in symptoms, right? There's an
Mm-hmm.
increase in satisfaction in their life and functioning, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
they're able to what be able to navigate, right? The things that used to seem like a whole mountain for them to climb before,
Mm-hmm.
they got the skills, they got the resilience, they got the response to be able to navigate their own life, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, they're able to be a source of support to other people. So, yes, treatment
Mm-hmm.
does work, but measuring treatment one person against the other can be hard. But overall, yes, treatment works.
And I love that measuring piece. I'm going to just drop something in there. Social media is very famous for comparing, seeing people's lives, and we measure how other people are doing on social media. And we know that social media life is fake. People can dress up. That woman and her husband fighting, they're not even sleeping in the same room, but she put up her makeup. She looked pretty. You know, they come online and they take pictures, and you on the other side, you are measuring yourself. Oh, I should be like that person. Oh, I wish I was like them. They're so happy. That lady is so
Hmm.
happy. That couple
Hmm.
is so
Hmm.
happy. And now you are
Hmm.
there sad, right?
Yes,
So treatment helps. I said I would just piggyback on that measuring part. Let us be wise about really what we how we engage and how we navigate through life as women. Your only competition is you. Your only measuring stick is you. How good you're
hmm,
going to be tomorrow from where you are today. Uh, being and finding that best version of yourself, like we say, making sure that you are working on those goals, working on yourself. And sisters, lay
absolutely.
off the Facebook drama, right? That Facebook drama is so time consuming and it drains your energy.
Absolutely.
You can work on yourself.
Nothing for you, man.
By the time you finish watching all this
For the
drama here,
moment, for the moment, it's entertaining, right?
and
For the
yeah.
moment, reinforce negative patterns. So it
Mm.
don't help us. For the moment, it's entertaining. We laugh, we poke. It just goes back and reinforces those negative patterns that we're trying to get away from, we got to watch how much of it we expose ourselves to.
And you're right, sis. Not all posts are fake. It's true. There are people out there that are living a good life. Okay. There are people out there that they are truly happy. They're enjoying their life and all of these things. And the thing here is that you should not be measuring yourself with nobody. Okay, I see this couple, they look great, I appreciate them, and that's fine. Okay, and if that is what you want to work towards it and let it work for you, but not using that as a measuring stick of how unhappy your life is because that person life now looks like the perfect life. There is no perfect life. There is no perfect relationship.
Mhm.
There is no perfect situation. It does not exist. So I think going into that thinking for you can be very what we call catastrophic, and we call that thinking mistakes because you can just set yourself up for unhappiness for a very long time. And yeah, so
Yeah.
going back to just the drama and all of these things, and I know we're about to shut this down. I really want us as women, as sisters, as mothers to Be careful really what we feed into our spirit. And many times we don't pay attention to what we invite into our space, into your spirit, into your circle, into your mind. If you are trying to keep that mind clean, you're trying to stay focused, you must be very selective of what occupies your mental space as well as your physical space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
this topic, sis, we can go on all night. It is one of those topics
On
as
and
women
on. On and
we
on.
are passionate about,
Yes.
what we do as women. And today I just wanted us to
Yeah.
come out here and talk to our sisters, our mothers, our aunts, our daughters.
And
That
I
it
and
is,
I hope this was helpful, right, for our. Yeah, I mean, today we kind of did a brief overview, right? We brushed on just kind of an introduction to mental health symptoms. We briefly talked about depression. As time goes, and y'all get some questions, some topics about some mental health things. Y'all get in our inbox. Tell us what y'all want us to talk about sometimes too, right? But we will talk more, we will share more, we will educate more. Like I said, I am always on other platforms, always giving my knowledge, lending my knowledge when I can on any mental health topic. But today we kind of did a rough overview to just kind of get that is space, just get a place comfortable a little bit. Really appreciate you asking me to share this time in this space with you today. Thank you, sis.
of course. And I thank you for agreeing to come on here. It's been wonderful and absolutely right. We kind of like did a broad spectrum of different topics affecting women, nothing in details, but I think we have started to plant the seeds. We are bird feeders. So we have started to plant some seeds for you ladies to come out and pick them up. And so now you have work to do. Hashtag she rested.
Hmm. Yes.
It's going to be an ongoing conversation, and we will be back. As always, mental health
She
month,
rested.
right? Oh, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and the conversation does not have to end here. We need to continue this conversation at
Yes.
our dining room tables with our friends, with our spouses, our partners, our children, our mothers, our grandmothers, our church leaders, community leaders. It is up to
Our
us now
children.
to
Yes.
spread the word. It does not stop here, it starts with us.
Yes.
And the more comfortable we are in having these conversations,
Absolutely.
especially with our children, and this week is Children's Mental Health Week. So, shout out to all my little people out there. You matter. We love you. And your mental health matters too. So, we
Yes.
really do
Yeah.
want to have those conversations and make it and let's normalize this mental health thing. There's nothing to be afraid of. Mental health does not mean crazy. Okay,
Absolutely not.
let's normalize this
Absolutely not.
conversation. So when somebody say, how was your mental health? Oh, you know what, I'm good, thanks for
Yes.
asking. Or, I had a rough day yesterday. I was, a little nervous about a test
Hmm.
I had to take, but
Yes.
I was able to get it together. Let's normalize that. So I thank you all for joining.
Yeah.
We will be back
Yes.
on next week with another mental health topic.
Yes.
For all those women who are mothers, those that are nurturers, those that are mentors, are making differences in the community to children. Happy Mother's Day to you. We thank you for all that you do. We value you. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we hope that you will do one thing for yourself this weekend: rest in everything that you do. rest. Please share this live.
Rest. Amen. All right. So quick thing before I leave.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Quick thing before I leave. Our Minnesota people, this is men, women, children, auntie, uncle, grandpa, grandma, Uber driver, everybody. Tomorrow in Minnesota, there is an event going on in raising the awareness of mental health.
Mhm,
It is the Liberians Advanced Practice Providers Network.
mhm,
They're hosting a program called Breaking Stigmas and Embracing Strength. It is a mental health awareness program. It is going to be happening in Coon Rapids, Minnesota from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And it will be at the YMCA in Coon Rapids, and the address is 8950 Springbrook Drive, Northwest, Coon Rapids, Minnesota 55433. I will be there. When y'all see me tomorrow, y'all just yell hashtag she rested. It was so nice to be on here, sis. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, and I will see you again soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, family, I thank you all for joining the live tonight. Please make sure to tune back in to the Friendly Counselor next week as we discuss more topics on mental health. Throughout the week of May, we will be highlighting mental health issues, and I hope you join us again next week. Please share this live and have a wonderful evening. Take care.